Whether falling out of a plane, getting into trouble in space, or being caught up in an atomic blast, human beings amaze us with their ability to survive. Their experiences are so wild that they seem impossible. Here are 5 unbelievable survival stories you must know. 5. 133 days in the Atlantic. Poon Lim was a steward aboard the SS Ben Lomond, a British wartime cargo ship in the Atlantic Ocean in 1942. The journey from Suez to New York was interrupted by a German U-172 submarine, which torpedoed the ship. Lim was then knocked overboard, where he spent an astonishing 133 days on his own out in the elements. He had a raft but needed to use his wits to stay alive. At one point, he even caught and dragged a shark onto his raft so he could beat it to death and drink its blood. Eventually, he was rescued by a fishing boat from Brazil. 4. The Donner Party ordeal. Settlers in America faced numerous hardships. The Donner Party is a key example of this. The pioneers were trapped in the Sierra Nevada mountains by snow whilst on the way to California in 1846. What unfolded would go down in history, and not for happy reasons. Named after their leader George Donner, the 87-strong group suffered in the extreme cold. The snow reached a depth of 30 feet in places. They resorted to eating not only 2 tribesmen of the indigenous Miwok people, which was appalling enough, but also each other. Once they were located, it took over 2 months to get them out. Overall, they were trapped for 5 months. Only 45 of them survived. 3. The woman who fell out of a plane. Imagine falling out of a plane, then having to survive for over a week in a jungle. Sounds unbelievable. But that's exactly what happened to Julianne Coept, a 17-year-old German-Peruvian girl whose aircraft was hit by lightning and broke apart in 1971. She plummeted to Earth, surviving a fall of approximately 10,000 feet. Trapped in the Amazon rainforest, she only had confectionery to eat. Thankfully, she was found by a logging crew and today works as a zoological librarian. 2. Self-amputation. In 2003, climber Aaron Ralston was hiking in Blue John Canyon in Utah. To his shock, a boulder shifted and fell against his right arm. What started as a nightmare situation only got worse. Ralston needed to amputate his arm if he wanted to make it out of there. He only had a pocket knife to do this with. They made a movie of Ralston's incredible story, the Oscar-nominated 127 Hours, in 2010. 1. Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571. When Air Force Flight 571 crashed in the Andes in 1972, the passengers faced a desperate situation. Some of them were sports people, so they were pretty tough. Even so, this was a hell of an ordeal, lasting over 2 months. The most well-known part of the story involves the passengers having to eat each other. Only 16 out of the 33 crash survivors made it out. You may think the story sounds familiar. Well, it's had 3 movies made about it, the most recent being Netflix's Society of the Snow in 2023. It also reportedly inspired the series Yellow Jackets. That's a wrap for today. Follow us for more facts.